Yeah, we're still down here because filming this at the same time as the big dig out, essentially. So what I want to show you guys this week is not necessarily the Piranha long barrel, but what kind of goes right here on top of it, because there's sort of an interesting history to that. This is a direct feed, obviously, so you can see that. Now, as opposed to, I probably shouldn't have put this away, but as opposed to the PGP, which has a top feed that holds 10 rounds, the direct feed was something that everybody wanted. Everybody wanted one of these things because then you could just put whatever you wanted to on top of that. Now a lot of guys, what they would do is they would go get oil cans, the old style big plastic oil cans, and put, they clean it out obviously, put paintballs in that and then mount that on the side, but it was really ugly, it was just really nasty. What most guys did was something similar to this. This is about a 10 round stick feed. This fits right onto the direct feed like that. Now this one is my modernized version of it. This isn't one of the originals. First of all, this is just a regular view loader elbow. I say regular view loader elbow, good luck finding those these days. And this is, quite literally, let's see if I can get this off of there. There we go. Piece of PVC pipe. Just like that. It's a piece of gray PVC pipe. About a 1-inch inner diameter and I think about a 125 outer diameter, I think. So there's probably going to be somebody who's going to correct me on this, but that's what I think it was. It's been a long time, okay? And what I did was I would put this into the elbow, tighten it down, and then took some camo duct tape and just put it all the way up and down the side like that. And of course the top, this one happens to have a speed lid, also known as, you go into your local shooting department and go look at scope covers, and that works out absolutely perfectly. Now nobody, I want to emphasize this, nobody ran their gun like this. Only a noob would run their gun like this. What you do, you flip it back at an angle, and you run the gun like this. Nobody would run the stick straight up. You'd run it always at an angle. At least, you know, maybe at the tops, maybe about like this. That's about all you'd stick it up. Because anything more than that is just advertising a big target of shoot me. So this was one of the first generations of hoppers out there. And I say first generation of hoppers because this one was just homegrown. This is what everybody used to do. The other thing people would do too was they would take these things like sock holders. It basically is a little 3-finger. Actually, I can show you on show you right here. It's still on the back of a bunch of these. Right there, you can kind of see. I'm trying to get it in the light. There you go. These little 3 fingers of plastic right on top of there. Those are sock holders, and you can get those at a lot of stores. And a lot of people would put those onto the ends of this. That's a quick speed feed. I always did this because I always played in the worst weather possible. Welcome to the Midwest. You want to go play paintball? It's raining this weekend. Consistently. So eventually, a lot of companies started inventing their own version of the hopper, where we come up with this. And I know I've covered this in the past. This is a cheese wedge hopper. This one's a War Game Products ammo box, although every single company had their version of this, or at least they had their name on it. And this is actually my old one. And one thing that's interesting to point out here, right on the top you can see the PMI logo on top of that pop lid. They made these pop lids specifically for these hoppers. Because what you do is there's usually 2 tines in the bottom here, and you cut those off, put this on the top there, and supposedly it would fit perfectly. It never did. So this is just a nightmare of electrical tape and faith. And speaking of that, that's why there's so much tape right there too, because you know it's one of those things, you just make it work. That's just what you did. And this fits nice and conveniently on top of the hopper like that. Right? So it's compact, it's easy to use, and hey, it holds 40 rounds right over here. Just like that. Now, I'm going to point this out to you because I still kind of find this funny, is that a couple of guys way back in the day would do this. They would take their 40 round ammo box, put it on top of their stick feed, and then run it like that. There were some interesting people out there. That's all I really think I need to say about that. Let me put these in. So eventually we graduated to something more like this. I don't have my Whaler. It's currently in storage, best I can tell. I wish I had this with me because I would show you the Whaler, because that was revolutionary at the time. I could probably give it its own show. But almost everybody came up with their own version of it. This one's Indian Springs. Yeah, Indian Springs, the maxi loader. This held about 125 rounds. The unique thing of this is you can see the channel right down in here. The idea of this was that this would channel the balls into the hopper so that it would reduce the shakes. The shakes. You occasionally still see it happen every once in a while. This is going to be tight on there, so I'm not going to force it. But you'll see somebody who's using a semi-automatic with a gravity loader, and you'll see them go ping, 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 ping. That would happen with these guns too. And the odd, just when you were just shooting it, the act of just cocking the gun would usually be enough to cause this to agitate enough to get the balls to move. So the idea of this channel here was that while you were agitating the loader yourself, it would feed balls consistently into the gun. And that's why I wish that I had my my Whaler feeder here. It's like I said, it's in storage because I would show you what they did to solve the problem, and what they did was infinitely more interesting. And if anybody runs into any one of the old Devil Dogs or Fred Moulton Jr. or any of those guys, tell them I said hi and thank you, because it's still a conversation piece to this day. So this is a fairly important piece right here. Almost everybody had their 100-round hopper, the sight feeder. Actually, I think the sight feeder is still available from, I should remember the name of this company, APP, Allen Paintball Products. I think they still make a version of this, and their maybe, I don't know. But their original version had a little cap on the top here that you're supposed to take your 10-round tube and put it in there. And you're supposed to feed it 100 rounds at a time with 10-round tubes. Not exactly the most intelligent thing in the world. That's what I'm going to say about that. And that's when we graduate to this puppy right here, the old Viewloader 2000, the VLs. And yeah, it still has the smell. Unless you actually understand. If you ever, I don't know if your generation of kids that actually had this, but my generation of kids, Halloween costumes had a specific vinyl smell to them. This, if you know it, it's one of those things that it hits your brain and sends you right back to being in first grade. And this, to this day, still has it. I've had this hopper for almost 20 years, and it still has that smell. This is one of the original view loaders. I don't have an elbow for it, so I'll put this down. And you can kind of see, maybe kind of sort of, I'm gonna run out of light on this one apparently. Yeah, but there's like a two paddle in there, very thin blade, and it grinds. Oh, it's slow. The paddle is slow. I mean, I never had a problem with this as far as feeding anything goes. I put this on my stroker, and I never had a problem with it. So this was one of the original 9-volt window on the bottom, right there. Having fun with the light in here with the in reverse, and a big honking switch right here. I don't even think this one had a light on it. No, it didn't. It didn't have a warning light, so if you were out of juice, it would just go, eat your grunk, and that was it. You were done. The nice thing though is that you could still, you know, shake and bake if you really needed to. A lot of guys had the semi-auto shakes back in the day. That's all I'm going to say. So anyhow, that's a brief history of the hopper. Very brief. There's a whole bunch more out there. Matter of fact, again, I'm going to put the call out to the old timers. If you are one of the old timers and you have one of the old hoppers, please make a video, respond to it here, or just let me know that it exists. I'll put it up on Facebook, because this is the living history, guys, and this is the stuff that a lot of the young kids don't know actually existed. Every time I see somebody try to reinvent the wheel, I just keep on shaking my head saying, guys, we did that already like 10, 15 years ago. Learn from us. So that's what I'm trying to do with this series. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more, comment down below, comment on Facebook. Let me know, let me hear you guys. I can't do the show without you. Thank you guys very much. Catch you next time.